My name is Scott. For the past year, I've been working 2 jobs, saving what I can and living on the cheap so that I can pack up my gear and take a trip. Today is that day. I've sold everything I own, packed up my Volkswagen, and hit the road. On a typically overcast Vancouver day, I did what millions of Canadians do each year and crossed the border into the United States. My trip starts out in the Pacific Northwest, where I'll take a scenic drive through seaside towns and along the breathtaking beaches that define the Olympic Peninsula. From there, it's a quick stop at Seattle's Pike Place Market before heading through Mount Rainier National Park on my way south to Mount St. Helens. Then, it's into Oregon for a cruise along the hundreds of miles of empty beaches and towering sand dunes that make up the Oregon coast. Once I had crossed the border, the first thing I wanted to do was get off the freeway. At Burlington, I took the off-ramp for the Olympic Peninsula. It wasn't long before I was cruising over Deception Pass at a comfortable 50 miles per hour, taking in the scenery and enjoying the drive. They say that getting there is half the fun, but for me I had no itinerary, no place to get to, and no schedule to keep. It was the drive that was important, and if I saw a place I liked, then I would set up camp and bunk down. Not far off the main road was the town of Coupeville. The Olympic Peninsula is dotted with these welcoming little towns that make for a great place to stretch your legs and grab a coffee. The streets are narrow and clean with attractive little storefront windows advertising everything from antiques to used books. A few minutes from Coupeville is the town of Keystone, where you can catch a ferry to Port Townsend. The ferry runs all day and the cost is less than $10 for vehicle and driver. It's a real bargain considering how lovely the 35-minute trip is. Pack a lunch, sit on deck, and enjoy the scenery. One of the great things about the Olympic Peninsula is that there is so much available to you within a short drive. Centrally located Port Angeles is a great place to load up on the supplies that you forgot at home, and is also the stepping off point for the Olympic National Park. This national park offers plenty of campgrounds to stay in and all sorts of hikes through old-growth forests and along the rugged coastline and beaches that make up the Olympic Peninsula. The northernmost of these beaches is Ruby Beach, located about 30 miles from the town of Forks. Well known for its sea stacks, driftwood, and sandy beach, it's a popular tourist destination in summer, but there is still plenty of room to get lost amongst the boulders and have yourself a quiet picnic. The Olympic Peninsula was a great start to my trip and should not be missed if you're in the Pacific Northwest. Sure, you can get from Vancouver to Seattle in a few hours on the I-5, but unless you're on a tight schedule, then you should really take a few days and enjoy this drive. The people were friendly, the pace was relaxing, and it seemed as though there was a new sight to explore around each bend in the road. With the coast behind me, I was off to Mount Rainier National Park, but first I had a quick stop to make in Seattle. If you're passing through Seattle and need a few supplies, then a great place to stock up is Pike Place Market, a local farmers market that has been in operation since 1907. It's a busy little location offering a colorful selection of organic and locally grown produce, as well as arts and crafts. A favorite stop is always the Pike Place Fish Market, with its loud and boisterous employees throwing their product to each other for packaging. When you're finished shopping, grab yourself a cup of Seattle's finest and take in the variety of buskers that entertain here on a daily basis.
Still waters of emotion fill your eyes, thank you. Just soul spilling over from inside to let you know you're still alive.
On my way to Mount St. Helens, I decided to take the long way around and enjoy a drive through Mount Rainier National Park. It was the right choice to make. The park has a comfortable winding road that gives you great views of Mount Rainier, as well as numerous opportunities to pull over and have a look around. If you can, try to spend the night here in the cool mountain air, but if that's not possible, then get an early start and enjoy the drive. At the far end of the park, there's a quiet highway that leads to Mount St. Helens. Prior to May 18, 1980, Mount St. Helens was a playground for weekend adventurers, many of them visiting Spirit Lake at the base of the volcano. The eruption of Mount St. Helens was responsible for the largest landslide in American history, reducing the volcano's elevation by over 1,000 feet and creating a 1-mile wide horseshoe-shaped crater that is now a national monument. While the volcano erupted almost 30 years ago, the devastation is still clearly visible. But as you look around, you'll notice Mother Nature slowly reclaiming the area. From Mount St. Helens, I hopped onto a few country roads that I had noticed on a map. With the technology out there today, you could probably narrow down your final destination to 1 square foot, but for me, nothing beats poring over a map. Not that it did me any good, I ended up getting lost anyway, but after a great little drive, I still managed to arrive at the Oregon coast in time for sunset. The Oregon coast is roughly 360 miles long and is broken into 3 regions, north, central, and south, with over 80 state parks and recreation areas. Driving the Oregon coast is a relaxing cruise along a comfortable 2-lane highway that rarely seems to leave the coastline. If you're not in much of a hurry, like myself, then you'll find plenty of pullouts and rest stops along the way to either take a break or let other drivers pass you. Make sure you pack a lunch and take advantage of these secluded spots where you'll have the entire beach to yourself. Towards the southern end of the Oregon coast, you'll find the Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area, the largest expanse of coastal sand dunes in the United States, and the inspiration for Frank Herbert's science fiction novel, Dune. Millions of years in the making, some of these dunes tower hundreds of feet above sea level and offer plenty of recreational opportunities, including hiking, camping, and, of course, photography. The sheer diversity of the Pacific Northwest makes it a great travel destination if you're looking to get away from it all and sample a taste of everything nature has to offer. Whether it's rugged coastline or sandy beaches, towering mountains or dormant volcanoes, there's something for everyone here. Accommodation was easy to come by, with numerous campgrounds at the state and national parks, and the cities and towns were friendly and colorful. I had only scratched the surface, but it was a great start to my trip, allowing me to become more acquainted with living full-time in the back of my bus. My next excursion would take me to another famous coastline that would be as distinct as this one, but no less dramatic or awe-inspiring.